You open your eyes to the sight of a blue sky. Then all of a sudden, boom! You are taken aback by someone going sicko mode on the drums. You are left scared and confused. What's happening? Where am I? And before you can answer those questions, out of nowhere, Ray Manzarek comes out on the organ and starts hammering away with an almost jazz-like sense of improv. Then, you start thinking to yourself, why am I seeing a bunch of random names in French? Suddenly you realize your fate thanks to a conveniently placed title card. You have begun watching Jacques Tati's Playtime. Coming out in the tail end of 1967, Jacques Tati's Playtime is essentially a satirical picture book on late 60s modernism in France. Is there a clear story? No. Are there any main characters? Not really. Sometimes you will follow some reoccurring people, but not one character is the sole focus of the film. Instead, Playtime places the viewer in the background of various and often disconnected scenes, with some occasional characters acting as a through line between scenes. What you get as a result of this is an amazing contrast of both color and dull modernity, alongside a treasure trove of random people and events to gawk at in the background. I think the best way to describe Playtime is like if Where's Waldo was a movie. And this seems to be a popular consensus. Just as an example, here's one of my favorite Letterboxd reviews. It's like a double-page spread of Where's Waldo, except everyone is Waldo. Personally, I draw a lot of comparisons to the I Spy books as well, especially in terms of the sheer amount of color and chaos going on with each scene. And while this very loose concept may seem like a sure way to make a boring movie, that can't be further from the truth. I'd say this is because the film manages to keep reeling you in with so much visual noise alongside a very satirical take on 60s modernism. Right away, the movie prepares you for what's to come by starting your journey at the airport, where your eyes and ears are immediately diverted all over the place. At first, you may be focusing in on the conversation at hand, but then the movie diverts your attention with this loud as hell trolley going off into the distance. Then you realize something. Are those mannequins in the back or people? And before you figure that out, you are now confronted with one of the funniest people in all of cinema. The janitor who has such a look of disappointment since he is employed at the cleanest airport in the world. Then you start to see that supposed mannequin in the back is an actual person who is trapped in a glass box? Huh? Mind you, all of this is happening within the first minute of the movie properly starting. This is a 2-hour-long movie, by the way. Further along into the airport, you bear witness to the arrival of this very important person. And the whole time, you have this one cameraman going out of his way to hit the most insane angles for his picture. This, I repeat, this is what the standard for photojournalism should be. Later in the film, we meet one of the main through lines of the story, Monsieur Hulot, who is played by Jacques Tati. Now, this guy is such an enigma. What is his story? What is his goal, you may ask? Well, it's to get to a very important meeting. Simple, right? Let's see all the steps for how Monsieur Hulot gets to his meeting. First, he is greeted by the doorman. He's an older dude, but he can get the job done. Immediately, you pan to this crazy space-age technology where he has to hit a random combination of buttons to check this guy in for his meeting. And now you think he'd be good to go. Nope. He has to wait unnecessarily long for this guy to walk down the hallway, and all that just so he can go into the room right next to him. You can see where this is going. What precedes is Monsieur Hulot going on a goose chase just to be able to talk to this dude. And hey, would you look at that, the mannequins strike back. This time, they're real.
Monsieur!
All throughout scenes like these, the film provides really funny commentary on the absurdity of 60s modernism. And acting as kind of like the B-plot to the film is when we follow a group of American tourists, where you see all these dull gray travel agencies that are blocking out French monuments. And when you're inside the travel agency, there are these posters lined all across the wall with various destinations that are marked by that same lifeless gray building. Then, when you are dragged to a tech exhibition, you see all the marvels of the modern world, like a broom with a flashlight that takes unnecessarily long to start up. Have you ever wanted to slam your doors without the loud noise? I present to you the silent door. And now, the magnum opus of Western civilization, the Pillars of Greece, now brought into your home as a trash can. This combination of both pretty and dull shots alongside countless visual gags is present in the climax of the film, where we see the opening day of a restaurant that has not finished construction yet. The night starts off fine, but one by one the cracks start to show. You have the architect scrambling around trying to work with the unfinished kitchen. Then there's the tile on the dance floor that isn't fully glued. And all the while, more and more customers come running in, including a Frenchman's worst nightmare, a loud American.
Oh no, that's not my table. That's my table right there.
C'est réservé, monsieur.
As the scene progresses, you get a false sense of security with the band arriving, livening up the atmosphere with some nice samba. However, there's still an air of tension in the air. And then all of a sudden, jazz fills the restaurant, and people start moving. This poor guy had his uniform ripped, so now he's sulking outside with his coworkers stripping him down little by little. And then, Monsieur Hulat arrives, and being the goof that he is, he breaks the door. But don't be thinking that the doorman is out of a job now, as he is determined to keep the illusion of normalcy. I love this guy. The tension continues to build, and you don't know what will break, and all of a sudden... I'm going to stop it here, because I don't want to spoil much of the film if I don't have to. Really, Playtime is such an interesting piece of work, and one of my favorite films on a pure visual level. Like, I genuinely want to know what Jacques Tati was on when he made this in the 60s, because it's insane. It really has a great combination of beauty, visual gags, and music that really makes you feel like you're in France. Shout out to whoever plays the accordion in the soundtrack. But I want to make one final connection here. And this may sound crazy, but I have a theory that Playtime inspired the hit 2009 video game Rabbids Go Home. Please, just hear me out. Firstly, Rabbids Go Home was made by Ubisoft Montpellier, whom are French. And if you are French and aren't familiar with this masterpiece, I would be shocked. Secondly, they are very thematically similar. Where Playtime is a satire on French modernism in the 60s, Rabbids Go Home is the same way, but for the US in the 2000s. And just look at the colors, alright? I'd say Playtime has a pastel look to it. So does Rabbids. And one final thing. There is a lady in a PA box in Playtime. She's basically trapped in there, but she's very similar to the extra large item in Rabbids Go Home, which is a lady in a UFO-looking PA box that you hear commentating throughout the whole game. I may very well be the first person in history to make this connection. I also may be the very last. But I say this to announce my next video, the long-awaited Rabbids Go Home retrospective. I bet you didn't see that coming when you clicked on a video about a French film from the 60s.